Hello, welcome to Tricky IELTS. I'm sure you will be fine. In this video, I'll share a list of informal words which affect your score in IELTS writing module. Stay here and watch this video till the end in order to get the list of informal and formal words. If you avoid these words in IELTS writing, nothing can stop you from higher band. Stay here and watch this video in a careful manner. First, I'll share the transition to sum up. Most students, they start conclusion with this transition to sum up. To sum up is informal, so you can replace it with in conclusion, which is a formal transition. So do not use to sum up. In a nutshell or basically. So mostly students, they also use means in a nutshell and basically in conclusion. So do not use these two transitions. These two transitions are informal. You can replace it with to summarize. In the meantime, you can replace the transition in the meantime with in the interim. The transition in the end, you can replace it with finally, which is a formal transition. Alright, you can replace it with acceptable. I think. So instead of I think, try to use in my opinion, because I think is informal. Also means, so instead of also you can use in addition, additionally, moreover and furthermore. So instead of do not use the word also in IELTS writing, try to use these transition in addition, additionally, moreover or furthermore. The coordinate conjunction but is informal. Do not use the word the conjunction but in IELTS writing. You can replace it with however. However is a adverb, keep in mind. However, we can use for two opposite statements or two opposite you can say situation, but the usage is a bit different as compared to conjunction like but. You have to learn the correct means uses of however. So however is an adverb which you can use for two opposite means statement, and however is formal. You can also use the subordinate conjunction although and even though. Means although and even though both are formal. So instead of but you can use although and even though in IELTS writing. Instead of so you can use therefore. Very interesting, fascinating. Keep in mind, interesting isn't informal, but you have to avoid the uses of very. If you just avoid means the usage of very in IELTS writing, I'm sure that you'll be able to secure higher band. So instead of very interesting, I have just used the word fascinating. So try to avoid the usage of very in IELTS writing. So instead of sorry, you can use apologize. Start. So do not use this word start in IELTS writing. Try to use commence. Start is informal and commence is formal. Let. Let is informal and permit is formal word. Get in touch with. So instead of get in touch with, you can use a formal word contact. Seem is informal and appear is formal. So try to use appear instead of seem. Show is informal and demonstrate is formal. So do not use the word show in IELTS writing. Try to use demonstrate. Sit up. Sit up is a phrasal verb. So instead of sit up, you can use the word establish. So do not use phrasal verbs in IELTS writing if you want to secure higher band. Need. So instead of need, you can use the word require. Think about. So instead of think about, you can use consider, which is formal. So instead of free, you can use the word release. Do not use the word keep in IELTS writing. Try to use the word retain. A lot of. So instead of a lot of, you can use a formal word many. And instead of lots of, you can use a formal word much or countless. You can also use the word countless. totally. So instead of totally, you can just use the word completely or strongly. Mostly students, they use totally in IELTS means writing task 2 introduction. Especially in introduction, they use the word totally, like this is a totally agree, or I'm totally agree with this opinion. So instead of totally, you can use that I'm completely agree, or I'm strongly agree with this opinion. Heaps of. So instead of heaps of, you can use a number of. So instead of really, you can use the word definitely. Do not use the verb get in IELTS writing. Try to use obtain or secure. These two are formal as compared to means get. So instead of anyway, do not use the word anyway in IELTS writing. Try to use the word nevertheless. So instead of idea, you can use the word notion. Job is informal. Do not use the word job in IELTS writing and try to use the word occupation instead of job. Empty. So empty is informal. Try to use the word vacant. Rich. So instead of rich, you can use the word wealthy. Buy. Do not use the word buy in IELTS writing. Try to use purchase. So instead of mainly, you can use a formal word principally. Like you can use that I want to discuss mainly this problem. I want to discuss principally, or mainly means my opinion, or principally my opinion. Like you can use means according to the situation. So instead of cheap, cheap is informal word. Do not use cheap in IELTS writing. Try to use inexpensive. Do not use contraction in IELTS writing. So if you use contraction, you will lose marks. So instead of as well as I suggest you do not use negative form like can't. So instead of can't, you can use unable. If you want, if you don't know means to avoid the usage of negative words, so you should just means use a word like, for example, you can use full form. Instead of cannot, you can use the full form cannot. So do not use contractions. If you use contraction, you will surely lose marks. So if you are a bit expert, so you can use means positive verb like unable. So unable, failed, like means I cannot complete my work. I'm unable to complete my work, like this. So it will help you means to secure higher band. Kids is informal. Most people they use means synonym of children, kids. So do not use the word kids because kids is informal. If you use kids, so means your score in lexical resources will surely decrease. So try to use offspring and infants instead of kids. Useless. So instead of useless, you can use the word unacceptable. So instead of help, you can use the word assistance. Enough is informal word, so do not use it in IELTS writing. Try to use sufficient. Hopeless. So instead of hopeless, you can use the word futile. Means futile is a formal word and hopeless is informal. Older. Mostly means students they use the word older in IELTS writing, so do not use older because it is informal. Try to use senior. And instead of good, good means mostly students they use the adjective good in IELTS writing. So do not use good because good is informal. So you can use it means the word positive or rewarding instead of good. So it will help you to secure higher band in lexical resources department. So instead of bad, you can use the word negative. Instead of right, you can use correct. Instead of wrong, you can use incorrect. And instead of remove, you can use the word eliminate. These, I will also suggest you to not use this structure like there are many issues within the country. So I have just means there are, it isn't informal, but I'll suggest you to not use means never start your sentence with these words like it is, there are, because these words play no role in your writing task 2. It will only make your sentence wordy. So try to avoid means the usage of these words. So never start your sentence with there is, it is, there are. If you do so, it will make your sentence wordy and you will lose marks. So try to use like mainly many issues are occurring within the country. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching.